Hi everyone, welcome back to Islam Unboxed. Today we'll be talking about Hinduism. I know my channel is supposed to be about Islam, right? But a few weeks ago, there's a Hindu guy. Actually, he was commenting on one of my videos endlessly. So I think it's time to make just one or two videos about Hinduism. So at least I can share it with you what I know about Hinduism and what I think about Hinduism and why I cannot believe in Hinduism. Hinduism is claimed to be between 3,500 years old to 4,500 years old. And some Hindus even claim more than that, several thousand, very close to 10,000 even. Now, Hinduism is not a static religion. Hinduism is always changing. Well, at least it was always changing. Why? Because some so-called guru or equivalent to sheikh in Islam, they also wrote their stuff in Puranas. In Hinduism, there are so many Vedas, there are Mahabharata, there are so many books, so many stories, and 18 Puranas. But the thing is, for example, the Hindus, they were not always vegetarian. The Hindus, at some point, maybe around 2000, over 2000 years ago, and then they started becoming vegetarian and vegans. But before that, actually, they were eating meats, even beef. In one of the books in Rig Veda, the section is Manusmriti. If we go to chapter 5, verse 30, it is said in that book, the book says, Brahma created everything, the eaters and the eatables. So there's no sin to eat meat because Brahma created everything, right? And I do believe Hindus became vegetarian or vegan, some of them, because of the influence of Buddhism. When Siddhartha Gautama was born, roughly 2,500 years ago, in somewhere in Nepal, Siddhartha Gautama is somewhere after his death. He was considered as the ninth avatar of Vishnu. Vishnu is one of the three main gods in Hinduism: Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. Vishnu is the maintainer or the one who sustains everything. And Vishnu had 10 avatars coming or came. 9 of them already came and one more is coming. The last one will be called Kalki avatar. And the ninth avatar was Buddha. Now, this is what is so funny. But if you ask Buddhists if they believe Buddha was the ninth avatar of Vishnu, they will say no. But the Hindus believe this. Very strange, right? So, once they believe Buddha was an avatar of Vishnu, they try to follow what Siddhartha Gautama did. And Buddha did not eat meat. That's why the Hindus follow that. Even though somewhat it is against their own books. I mean, it's almost like they don't believe in their own Rig Veda. One of the Vedas is Rig Veda. So that's how it is. And Hinduism is not one religion. It was not one religion. Hinduism is a collective of religions. For example, if let's say, I will use India, of course. In India, there are so many states. Let's say Uttar Pradesh, or Gujarat, or Punjab. Right? Now, in those states, they have different cities, different districts and cities. And in the cities, they have different gods. Every city, they have different gods. And in those cities and villages, every house worship different gods. Sometimes we can hear Hindus tell you or tell us they only believe in one God. However, those gods are they're just one God. They're the same. They're just manifestation, which is not true at all. Let's say if you see a Hindu worship Kali, one of the most powerful goddess, and they will have the statue of Kali. And if you ask them, can I change this statue of Kali with Ganesh? They will refuse. If it's true, those gods and goddesses are just manifestation of one God, they should not be, they should not object. Because no matter which statue is the same. Doesn't matter if it's Hanuman or Durga. But the fact that they have special statue because each statue is different God, its own God, representing one God. And it is believed they have between 33 million to 330 million gods and goddesses. And this is the kicker. Mahabharata, one of the main books in Hinduism is allegedly written by Ganesh. Who is Ganesh? The guy with elephant head. I don't know about you. I do believe God has miracles. But if you tell me a person with elephant head write a book, I have a hard time believing it. Like I said, I don't know about you. And Hinduism, like I said, it's different guru will teach you different thing. Because why? Because they don't have the same standard manuscript. They do have standard manuscript. However, those guru they follow different Puranas and different teaching, and sometimes they have real different teaching. Right? They're not the same. And now, like I said, let me continue with these gods. And the collective gods and goddesses, they fall under one umbrella, Hinduism. Of course, Hinduism is not the real name of the religion, right? Hinduism is basically English word that came from Indus. the area. So now, I remember, or maybe you also remember, if you ever read the history, Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great, he conquered Egypt, and Egyptians loved him. Do you know why? Because Egyptians, they worship Osiris and Isis. And Alexander the Great told them, your gods and goddesses are my gods too. That's how Egyptians loved Alexander the Great. And Alexander the Great came to India, northern part only. His army was too tired to fight. However, I believe Alexander the Great, at some point, he said the same thing to the Indians, to people of India. And this, what he said 2000 something years ago, still actually followed by the Hindus. So if my house worship Ganesh and your house worship Durga, and my next other house worship Saraswati, and I will tell you guys, Saraswati is my goddess too, Durga is my goddess too, and you will tell me, oh Daniel, Ganesh is my goddess too, my god too. So we believe all of those three are gods and goddesses, and then, but each of us, we have one main god to worship. Because we believe in the specialty each god or goddess has. And one thing that when I had a conversation with a Hindu at work, she said to me, when she said those gods and goddesses are just manifestation, and I said to her, I don't believe that, because Saraswati, for example, is the goddess of knowledge. So if you have children who are going to school and you want them to be successful in school, you will pray to Saraswati. You will never pray to Ganesh or Hanuman for that. You will never pray to Brahma for that, or Shiva. Because Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge. So each god and each goddess has one specialty. So because I worship your god too or goddess too, then I can pray to her. And definitely your goddess is not a manifestation from my God. That is a false representation of Hindu. So, well, there are a lot of things in Hinduism that is hard for me to believe also, because, for example, there are temples in India, the oldest probably just under 2,000 years old. That's far cry from 4,500 years old religion, as they claim to be. For example, the thing is, in Egypt, the pharaoh or the Egyptians, they built pyramids, so many pyramids, and some of them over 3,000 years old and close or around 5,000 even, and still standing. Now, I don't believe. Of course, there's one guy told me, oh, because when the Muslim came, They destroy everything. Yes, they did, but not. It's not totally true, because no matter what, some structure must should be should be there. But the fact is, nothing is more than 2,000 years old. There are books. There are books. One of the oldest we have in hands that we can see and touch is about 800 years old. It is not even close to what I mean, like 1,000, 2,000 years old. If they claim the religion is 3,500 years old to 4,500 years old, then the book should be just over 2,000 years old. I understand papyrus and paper can be, they cannot last too long. But if I see a little piece of evidence, archaeology, then I will believe the religion is as old as they claim to be. Anything, I mean, like I said, I always believe in miracles. Miracles are there. But we are given minds, we have spirit, we are human, we can think. As part of thinking, of course, evidence and archaeology should be there for us to see, and therefore we can believe, right? So I think that's all I want to talk about about Hinduism. And next time, maybe next week, I will talk about Hinduism and India and Islam. That's all from me tonight. Thank you for listening and watching. Whether you believe in Jesus or Ganesh, God bless you all. Have a nice life.